Hello and welcome to this cryptocurrency technical analysis where I'm going to be giving you a professional outlook on the altcoin market. In particular, I'm going to be looking at Ethereum today, and Ethereum for me is the leading indicator for the rest of the altcoins. Okay, so when Ethereum is moving down, we're generally seeing 95% of the altcoin market also down. When Ethereum is strong in green, we're generally seeing 95% of the altcoin market strong in green. So Ethereum really is this kind of leading indicator for the rest of the alts. So I'm going to focus on Ethereum today. I'll give you my opinions and thoughts on this, and thus, in essence, really the rest of the altcoin market. I'll give a quick 30-second recap here on Bitcoin, but my main focus here is on Ethereum. Okay, so that's what you'll be understanding today. And yeah, so quick 30 seconds here on Bitcoin. Really simply, we had our sideways range that we came down to range low, ended up losing range low to around the CC. And from that, we started to get acceptance back into our value area low. And it was like I was saying over on Twitter, right? Acceptance into the value area low, we look towards the value area high. On this value area high there, we also had a naked point of control. And so, this is obviously our next target and resistance to the upside. In the end, what actually happened is we came up to that value area high and we did get the rejection. Okay, really simply a wick onto the level. From there, we started to change market structure, a secondary test before coming down. So this was a prediction that I made in a daily morning live stream update. As the guy says here, daily updates are invaluable. And today, in a few hours time, I have my next daily morning trading update where I'm going to be focusing here on Bitcoin. So if you want my new Bitcoin analysis, biases and thought processes, that's what you'll get in today's Champions daily morning trading update. Every day you get this. My next live stream will be later today for Bitcoin. But yeah, really simply, this is what I was looking at. And here we can see how it obviously, played out as we did get acceptance into the value area low. You can see here, value area high on the NPOC target. Really simply wicked onto that level. Moved back down. We actually retested it here to the absolute dollar, by the way. Retest once again of that target before, large drop to the downside. So, it's just to show you here that once you have got your levels, you have got your targets, it's definitely possible. And, just so you understand, there's no random pivots here, right? So you can see from a prediction to how price played out, coming up to exact targets, exact levels, you're getting, pretty perfect reactions off of these levels. And, it just goes to show there's nothing ever random in this market. Each of the levels, each of the reactions, each of the pivots are based off of here, the technical analysis. So yeah, let's quick rundown on Bitcoin. And I just want to, as focused and said, I want to primarily focus here on Ethereum. So I'm going to start off looking at ETH BTC, then we'll bring it over to Ethereum against USD. But I like to start off here on the ETH BTC chart, as this is what gives me biases. Of course, this is against the Bitcoin chart, so we see Ethereum strength against Bitcoin. But yeah, really simply, of course, I've done an Ethereum video, would have been last week now, almost, over 7 days ago, right? And we obviously had the big target of the ETH BTC pair on this point of control. And we can see how we come up to that point of control. Okay, spent a little bit of time above it. So this is what we could almost class as like a failed auction above the POC, right? We come above the level and then boom, real quick, heavy move to the downside. So it's very, and this is also why we don't look at something as the exact dollar, especially as a level such as a point of control. It's not an exact dollar. It is, of course, classed as a zone. So you come into that zone and then you get this like quite heavy pullback, really. Of course, Bitcoin pullback is affecting Ethereum naturally at the end of the day. When Bitcoin is moving down, you have to expect altcoins to move down as well, right? Especially against the USD pairs. When you look at the Ethereum pair, this has got quite a heavy pullback here. But at the end of the day, it is natural and expected to pull back from such levels of resistance. This is a major level of resistance on the BTC pair, ETH against BTC. So it's just not expected to go blasting straight through the level and never looking back. So this for me is an acceptable pullback. And when we look at the USD pair, all we've done is we've moved up, formed our range upon the highs. If you actually see here, formed a swing failure pattern, retest, back down. So Ethereum a much easier short and real simply SFP pullback. But again, this isn't anything of extreme sort of danger or surprise, or fear at the moment. All we're simply doing is we've had a nice range, we've broke out of that, and then from resistance, we're now testing that as support. Okay, so for me, we've got a few key levels here to the downside. Of course, the weekly, which is also simply the resistance support flip. But for me, I'd be looking as this daily as a very nice level. Okay, take out these previous days before the increase in price. Okay, and what I would class as a absolute must hold level would be coming down to this lower daily around 1,795. For me, if we actually start to break down from here, that would be a loss of our market structure, because still at the end of the day, we're building up these higher lows. We come down to this daily, for example, it's still a higher low from here, right? So this is something to pay attention to. Of course, you can do things visually like trend lines. We can see how at the moment, still higher lows at the end of the day. So for me, I'm not fearful, I'm not worried, I'm not scared, I'm not thinking it's the end of the world, ultra bearish, anything like this. I'm just trading the charts for what they are, okay? And for me, this is simply the ETH BTC pair came up to the point of control. Big resistance level, okay? We temporarily traded through it, but this is a zone, and we've got to pull back from this naturally, along with, of course, Bitcoin getting the pullback off of that value area high retest target. Has started to pull back towards 28k, right? So this naturally has definitely pulled back heavy, but nevertheless, it's still in an uptrend at the end of the day, and we're pulling back now to the weekly resistance support test. Okay, my preferred scenario would be to see a little bit of a lower test here. So let's just see here in terms of percentages. Oops, didn't try to do that. So in terms of percentages, be about another 3 to maybe 10% move to the downside. BTC here currently trading. Would be looking for another 3. Yeah, so that actually does make sense. ETH, if this BTC pair sees a bit of strength or weakness, is there another 6% to the downside? So we are definitely approaching support here. Daily level here, really nice level indeed. I'm very interested in this daily at $1,891, to be honest with you. For me, this is a very interesting, also very important support level. Personally, I'm more than happy to long these type of levels. For me, if we get a dip in an uptrend, it's a long opportunity. I'm not going to be here sat fearful or shorting support here. For me, the short trades are too late now. Just you're not going to see me interested in the shorts of support at weekly, resistance support back tests or come, especially down here at the daily. If we get another subsequent move down here, okay, be it to this daily or the lower daily, you're not going to see me, jumping into shorts down here at the lows in fear. No, for me, these are opportunities to buy the dip. Of course, it's very important to note, sometimes you will buy the dip in an uptrend, and then that trend changes, and you have to be able to recognize that weakness, right? But historically speaking, over the past, basically the whole of 2023, I have been bullish. I have been buying the dips. I have been, bullishly biased towards upside, and that has paid very generously indeed, making a lot of profits from trading the trends. I do recognize, though, at some point this trend is going to change, and I will lose, the last few trades of essentially buying the dip, because then we've gone from an uptrend and started to return to a downtrend. So at some point, we do have to recognize that buying the dip strategy in the uptrend at key support levels is going to fail. But of course, by now, we've already made heavy profits by doing that strategy. And at this moment in time, there's no reason to think that it's still not a nice opportunity. If I take a loss, I'm more than happy to do so. I'm not just going to buy the dip and buy the dip and buy the dip and buy the dip once I've seen a clear trend change, because that would just be a very bad idea indeed, right? And I'm not the type of guy that does bad ideas. So, I'll continue to trade my strategy, continue to trade the trends as it stands, and that for me would be a nice opportunity down here around the daily. Okay, I would do a last opportunity of around this lower daily, but if we start to lose that for me is then a sign of weakness. Okay, that still at the end of the day is forming a higher low here on the ETH BTC pair. And for me, a big sign of weakness would be losing the value area low. That, very bearish indeed. But as it stands, it's not done that, right? So support is support until it's not, and then it flips into resistance. And so if that happens, we have to trade the charts. Let's not hold a bias. Let's not just, oh, Daniel was looking for higher. Now we've lost support. I'm not going to be still looking for higher. I'm going to update my bias, trade the trends. But as it stands, we are hitting back into very important support. And for me, this trading the charts is support, and it is naturally buy opportunities, right? So prepared to take a loss, and of course I will do that. I'm not going to hold on to underwater trades. But for me, the long opportunities are here and vivid and clear as day on the charts. So I will be interested in this firstly around the daily, then to the lower daily, of course, keeping eye on Bitcoin, absolute star of the show. If you ignore Bitcoin, if you're not following Bitcoin, you will be losing. It's as simple as that. You have to be following Bitcoin. That's where the money is. That's where the flow and ebb of the market comes from. So if you're sleeping on Bitcoin, you're sleeping on the profits, and you're sleeping on, the absolute must need to know assets of the cryptocurrency market. So if you want to see my updates today on Bitcoin, of course, chartchampions.com, live daily morning stream update. I will give you my next analysis on Bitcoin. This was an idea that I had last time, and we can see how that played out absolutely perfectly here on the BTC chart, right? So if you want to get involved on my update of BTC live stream this morning, you know what to do. chartchampions.com. That's where you got the live streams from myself, and of course the other coaches who are doing an absolutely amazing job right now. Shout out to the other coaches right now. Very, very, very good job indeed. And for the rest of the educational content and all that good stuff, that's also over on the website, right? chartchampions.com. I'm just going to wrap it up there. I'm going to say thank you ever so much. If you've enjoyed this video, you know what to do. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe, and just to let you know, I'm going to be releasing a video probably later today or tomorrow on the other channel that we have of CC Pool. So if you want to check out the Bitcoin against the banks, if you want to check out staking altcoins, which assets I'm staking, how to get involved, then that's going to be released on the CC Pool YouTube channel. So this is another channel that we have alongside this one. I'll leave the links to that if you're interested down in the description or comments below. I am going to release a video today or tomorrow for staking altcoins, Bitcoin against the banks, all that juicy information over on the CC Pool channel. For me, that's just a wrap up. You know where to get me if you want to see more updates, and that'll be next over on the website. So cheers everybody. Thank you ever so much. Hope you have a brilliant day, brilliant week, and good weekend to come. Thank you ever so much. Love you all, and that's me signing out. Goodbye. Cheers.